Greetings, gamers! Welcome to part number 41 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 10 Radiant Dawn. And in today's episode, it is time to move on in Crimea near the Begnion border. Are you layabouts done collecting supplies? We don't have all day. No, sir. Progress is slow. These people just don't have much. Something about an uprising earlier. Fools, I don't want excuses. Take anything you see, and if these bumpkins complain at all, cut them down. Because you can bet your armor that Senator Veltome will do the same to us if we're not done by the time he arrives. Reporting, sir. A Crimean army is approaching from the southwest. It seems to be the Royal Knights. What? Crimea's moving against us? Those backwater fools? All right, keep working. I'll take several men out to slow their approach. Colonial fools, I'll teach them what it means to defy the Empire. General Jeffrey, we've confirmed the presence of the Begnion army in the village ahead of us. I would prefer to avoid a fight, but I suppose that decision is up to them. Let's hurry. Okay, choose units. Astrid is gone. I halfway want to get rid of Makalov as well because I don't think he's going to be all that useful, but I suppose it's okay for me to use him. Danved, you can go up there. He's going to kind of circumvent this whole area, go up and to the right. And the rest of my, well, I guess Khalil can join him, help him with a little bit of chip damage. These three can go this way. I'm probably going to have the Crimean, this force, just wait here for a couple of turns. Specifically because I don't want them taking any of my experience points for Danved. But it is time to begin. And first and foremost, I want to talk about the hidden items of this chapter. There are two. One is right here in this heel hedge, which is a coin. Granted, I might actually try to get this because this party doesn't really need to be doing anything important anytime soon. But the whole purpose of this chapter is defeat boss, but you're on a timer. The enemies will burn down these houses. They'll light them on fire. And they only have, I think, 2 or 3 turns before they are actually, maybe 4. Something like that, before they're actually burned to the ground. If everyone burns, you'll just lose. The objective here is to defeat the boss, Roark, who's a halberdier. He's not the strongest of enemies, but he does have some pretty good stats for being, you know, just a pre-promoted halberdier, level 12. I mean, he's got, what, 8 levels to go. He would likely cap out all his stats if he was one of my units. One thing that I hate about this chapter, and I'm going to be very honest with you, you might hate too, if you like all of the, I want to say, stat boosting items, there is a spirit dust sitting right behind him. This is a defeat boss chapter, so you must defeat this boss with somebody like Jeffrey, and then sit on the space with Jeffrey, and then it's just a chance. Now, I say Jeffrey because he is actually the best at this because it is a skill percentage chance. Yes, and even though actually Danved would be just equally fine, but the problem is that with Danved, the issue is that man doesn't have the capacity to use Canto. You need somebody who has Canto, whom can move back on that space. Did I refrained from buying the Steel Great Lance. That's not great. I mean, I guess I can just use the Horse Slayer, but that's kind of a waste. Yeah, he's not getting much experience points, even with his amazing Paragon. That's just to be expected, though. This is a part 3 part, and all of my allied units are not exactly up to... well, I can't say that. They're actually stronger than these units still, by and large. So that's Not great. Now, I'm only going to be leaving these guys here for a turn or two. I'm going to be gauging on whether or not I need healing. If I need healing next turn, I'm obviously going to let them go. But holding them back a turn or two means that I don't have to worry about them stealing any experience points from my units out front, and then I will get them to help me in the back, because I will get units reinforcing in the back, as well as the fact that I do have one bishop there who has a physics staff.
Crimean soldiers, how dare you turn your weapons against us? You will pay for this betrayal. Men, burn these shanties to the ground. Show these fools what we do to traitors.
Yeah, and it's only the unpromoted soldiers who burn the houses. Nobody else. Ran to the heel hedge. That's funny. Alright, so I'm going to be able to KO you.
Monsters. They're setting the village on fire. Knights, evacuate the villagers and put out the fires immediately.
And of course, there is some reinforcements to these guys so that they can continue burning the houses, because none of the other units do such, which is a good thing. What it means is that you don't necessarily have to worry about all of these houses being burnt. What I am going to do is go right here and extinguish immediately. And then I'm going to attack with L-Fire. I don't really need healing, so with that being said, I'm going to hold them back just one more turn. Very nice level up. I did give Danved a couple of bonus experience points levels, which frankly I kind of regret, but it's whatever. I don't really care. I'm moving on. Life goes on. Alright, you are a useless layabout. Steel poleaxe. Very nice. I am going to be prioritizing extinguishing these houses, obviously, at every chance I can get. Oh man, would be nice if you actually were KOing here, but of course, Jeffrey is not, because he doesn't have the speed to do so. And that is my turn. These turns go by pretty quick. This chapter is very small. I actually like this chapter a lot. Even though I'm not a big fan of the Royal Knights, for the most part, because they are just not great. And it's not because they're not great units. It's because they don't have adequate time to get used to play with, to enjoy. And the issue with that is that the reason why that's the case is because this game deliberately takes away the opportunity for units to be used. And because there's just so many units to use, you can't possibly expect to have as much time as you would like with every unit, which is unfortunate. You have to make some hard decisions on who you're going to use in this game. Alright, direct. Roam. Alright, I can actually KO you. Good job, Jeffrey. Doing something. And you can continue to extinguish. Is there a way I can KO you? No. But I can throw a couple of javelins your way to help with that situation later on. One thing I could do is trade. I halfway want to use the meteor just for some extra little bit of damage here. That would be the smart unit, honestly, to KO. But, Danved would like to KO this guy. Alright, I'm just gonna fling a meteor at you. Alright. Perfect. Thank you. That's exactly what I was hoping for, was a heal for Danved. Alright, so I do believe another thing too is that you do get bonus experience points for saving the houses alive. Of course. Khalil dies. That was a misstep. I'm going to have to see you guys in just a few. And I am back after very much issue and a mite bit of deliberation. I decided not to have these guys wait back there. The reason being was because these reinforcements came anyway and would usually KO the physic-wielding healer, and that's not exactly great because he is your only healing in this party, which is also very strange and not something I truly appreciate, but I guess it does make for a different go-around. Things are definitely not the same in this map as they are in most of the other parts of this game, because obviously you're playing as a very different kind of party. Alright, one can only hope that Devdan is the one that is targeted with the healing. He did not get as good of a level up this time, missing out on, I believe, strength and speed comparatively to what he got previously, which is very unfortunate. But as you can see, I've taken care of all of the soldiers that have, I think there's some that come out here, but that have thus far shown up, which means that none of these houses were lit on fire on the top. How I did that was I just used Meteor with Khalil, and then finished off the guy with Marcia, and then had her move back down here so that she would be out of range of these guys and wouldn't have to worry about them attacking her. Which is the end of my turn. These guys are going to go back and help with the whole enemies in the rear kind of situation. Oh, come on. Devdan needs that healing far and away more. Now, granted, he's only going to be attacked by one of these units this turn, so I highly doubt that that's going to be a serious issue, but it was probably a range thing, because if I'm not mistaken, the healing units that are allies of yours will always prioritize healing your units over their own, and that's just because, I mean, it really makes sense that that's the case. You are the focus. Your units get lost, there is issue. The green units get lost, there is no issue. And don't need a killer lance for that. I did actually decide to go back and buy the steel great lance, which was, in my humble opinion, a great idea. Something that needed to be done. This guy's probably going to go back for healing, unfortunately. So I have a little bit of an idea here. Okay, that idea did not work yet, but it could actually still work, because I have one use of this hand axe left. So what I want is, I want that guy to go over and attack. Well, Kyran is likely going to be the one who's attacked. And that is my turn. Hopefully these guys can keep up with all the guys down here. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Nice. A bunch of self-healing. Jeffrey? Yeah, I'm really not surprised that that just happened. Alright, so I will be able to take this guy out with Danved. That'll be nice. How much damage are you doing? Only 15. That's nice. I can't really move her right there, though. Well, I can. But it's going to require me rescuing her, which I don't really want to do. But it is the best way to get out of this situation. So, a short spear for you. Danved gets more experience points. I'm hoping to get several levels for him. This whole chapter would be nice. Would also be nice if he actually started getting strength. This man is very much lacking in strength. In comparison to my other units who are at this level and nearing third tier, this is kind of pathetic. I'm really kind of sad about it. I hope he beefs up a bit, because otherwise I'm going to have a not-so-great Devdan. And I'm not looking forward to that kind of concept. Not at all. Alright. Well, that's my turn. As long as that guy doesn't decide to go in the way of this axe-wielding warrior, I don't have to worry about losing my healing. But if I lose my healing, I lose it. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. You can reset, of course, but I'm not about to reset for a yellow unit. And he didn't... Are we kidding? Are we joking here? I think he's going for the heal hedge. Come on. This is why most people don't like green and yellow units in Fire Emblem. They're never done or implemented correctly. Devdan needs healing, and he's just sitting there without healing because reasons. All right, Jeffrey, take him out. Yep. So there is another soldier. Steel Great Lance. It's perfectly fine for this job. That's nice. I'll wait right here. However, I am going to take out this unit with good old Kyran. Glad he dodged. This chapter is not going to be too much longer, hopefully. Yeah, he can actually hit. It's not great. But Makalov dodged, which is great. I appreciate that. Well, I could attack at range. I was able to hit, which is nice. And then finish you off with Devdan. Or Danved. Devdan in Path of Radiance. Danved in Radiant Dawn. He's supposedly a very eccentric and ridiculous kind of character, so it kind of makes sense with that, but it also is kind of extremely silly. Alright. So my healer isn't doomed quite yet. Hopefully he starts doing a better job. He was running away for healing. That's pretty much obvious. But not doing his job is not great, in my humble opinion. Alright, nice dodge. Ah, would have been really nice if he actually hit there. All right, hand axe. I want to say you are important to take out right now because most of the time the archers are quite a bit more dangerous on the attack than you would immediately think them to be. Would be nice if this guy wasn't in my way, just blocking my, or barring my ability to attack and KO that guy with a better weapon, better means. And a vulnerary use, as well as I could attack and damage you just a little bit more. And put you back here so my yellow unit is not in the direct line of fire there. That would be very unfortunate. And more reinforcements down here. These guys are likely going to be KO'd by my partner units. Hopefully. Yeah, wind edges. They might be good on higher leveled units, but that's a swordsmaster, and he's still struggling to hit anybody notable with such a weapon. Goodbye, healer. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop dilly-dallying here. Steel Great Lance sounds like a good idea. Meteor also sounds like a good idea. And you are now defeated. Perfect. Even got a wonderful hand axe. And then I have these two to tend with. So, use the steel poleaxe here. I'm actually going to set Kyran right in front of that. Right in front of that halberdier right here. I could put him in front of the boss so that he could attack both, but I actually don't know how well he would do surviving both, so I'm not going to bother. And that is pretty well my turn. I think what I'm going to do is make sure that you're equipped with a steel lance, and then my turn is ended. What this is going to mean is that Devdan should get attacked by that other halberdier. Depending on the damage he does, I might be able to chip him down a little bit with Khalil and then finish him off with Devdan. I'm obviously not going to be able to get the boss experience points with Devdan, so that's not going to be a thing. But I am going to be able to do as much as I can to get him as many levels as possible right now, because it's very important. He is going to be pretty much jolted straight into Part 4, still a Tier 3, and I don't like that. I far and away much prefer the Part 3 units that I'm going to use actually be Tier 3 in Part 4. It's why I don't typically use the Dawn Brigade ever, because they never are up to that kind of task, if you will. All right, so gamble. 64. It's not really doing that much damage. Alright, this general here is going to take some time, but I have a couple of ideas. First of all, I am going to actually go and attack him with Marsha. Or not Marsha, Khalil. Do some extra damage. These guys down here are annoying. And they just keep on swarming. And I gotta do as much as I can about all of them to get them out of the way. Especially these soldiers, because they are a huge annoyance. Nice, actually dodged. And that is, again, my turn. Hopefully, the partner units continue being a distraction, at least for these rear soldiers, because the problem is that because they just keep reinforcing, it's like a constant swarm effect. And I definitely don't want to constantly deal with swarming units when I'm trying to deal with the boss very shortly here. Over the next, like, turn or two, I'm going to be defeating the boss. That is at least my goal, desire, and whatnot. Nice miss. Alright. Yeah, these yellow units are literally pathetic. Alright. Yeah, so it's going to be a couple of turns, honestly. Makalov might be able to take him out. And you're gone. You are gone. It's funny, though, because this Swordsmaster that's right below the boss, he took the boss's concoction, which is something that doesn't really ever happen. Alright, cool. So I am going to be able to finish off this general with Danved, which I appreciate. Thank you, Khalil. Doing a great job being an extra unit. That's pretty much all you are. Yes, no strength again. No strength. Are you kidding me? What's going on? You're gonna have to do better. And that's my turn. He should still go after that Crimean. It's really funny, too, because since these guys have healing, they're just going to continue using these vulneraries, running for the heal hedges. It is actually a pretty great distraction. I appreciate it. It's working pretty well. Hopefully the other halberdier, yeah, it doesn't use the vulnerary or the concoction that the good old Swordsmaster decided to pilfer from the boss, which I think is kind of funny. Again, I am not at all happy about the fact that Danved has such little attack right now, such little strength. Alright, Makalov, you can heal up just a little bit. Perfect. I guess I can break this steel poleaxe on you. How much damage am I doing? 39 minus your 22, so I'm actually only doing 17. Am I critting, though? 11 crit? I do have a crit percentage chance. I'm going to put him here so I can hopefully damage down the boss just a little bit. And then end my turn. Perfect. So pretty much this whole chapter has been routed with the help of my not-so-great yellow units alongside my pretty okay Royal Knights. Nice, he actually damaged him.
I'm Geoffrey, the commander of the Crimean Royal Knights. Do you command these men? Knight of Crimea, you are clearly guilty of treason against the Empire. Do you understand what it means to send an army against us? You've just killed your people.
You have been warned. Queen Alencia will not accept any further acts of violence or banditry within our borders. Withdraw your troops immediately, or I cannot guarantee your safe return. Decide quickly.
How dare you take that tone with me? I'll put you in your place.
Good old thunder slung your way. Dan Ved gets one more chunk of experience points and a speed wing. Very glad I got that, actually. And then nice.
The Empire will not forget this. Once our main forces arrive, they will slaughter you like cattle.
And let's see. Nope, nothing. And this is going to be the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe, depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.